Alright, with that double bill, we got some of the stuff that this season has been missing. More insight from the Blue Tribe, and people actually really struggling to stay alive in this game, and stuff being shook up and such. I'm really glad that we got this stuff happening. It's given me a new perspective on the season, I think. Okay, so, the first episode, I gotta admit, I don't totally think there's that much to talk about, to be honest. I mean, like, sure, we were getting stuff from the tribes, but almost all of it that mattered was blue collar, because in comparison, no collar, all that really happened was that, Jen found the idol, which was fairly unexpected at first, but after, they kept cutting back repeatedly to the tribe eating the chicken, to her looking for the idol, you could tell that most likely she'd find it, although I didn't really fully realize that until the music changed in the background. And it's going to be interesting to see what she does with that idol, because with this idol, she does have a little more possibility to do something unprecedented. We'll find out. Then as for White Collar, they were barely even featured in this first half, so it was just even more guaranteed to me that they would not be going to Tribal, although since they were the last tribe featured, I actually ended up shifting my prediction from either Blue or No Collar losing to Blue or White Collar losing. And then Blue Collar, well, it was just more continuation of the guys being standoffish, basically, and the women not really factoring in that much, although Lindsay, again, was the one that was standing up to them, yeah. Then those challenges, well, as for the reward challenge, turns out I called it, and that Kelly was the one that got injured due to the platform hitting her, and I gotta admit, usually I do get a little bit of yeah when I call something like this, but this time I didn't, because it's not fun to see people, get injured out there in this game, even if it's someone that you don't like really, and ever since One World, every season has always had someone quit the game or be medically evac. I really want that trend to stop. But I was really impressed at how she managed to stay calm and how they actually managed to continue the challenge, although I think they put the blue-collar people a little farther than where they were. Now, obviously blue-collar had kind of gone to the right of their platform a ways, but it seemed like they had moved them out a little more than they had been standing there. That was kind of weird. Not that it mattered, because I still figured that they would probably lose the challenge, and turns out they did, although half of that was because I think they just didn't have a good caller. Now, to be fair, in Cagayan, two of the three callers were women. Tasha did the brains, Alexis did beauty, but I don't know. Actually, screw it, I think mostly it has been women, because, yeah, Jerry and Alicia and All-Stars, Jerry and HVV, yeah, Never mind, I would check that statement. But yeah, it just wasn't Blue Collar's challenge to win, although it was a little depressing, because, they go on a nice winning streak where they're able to do pretty well, then in one challenge they just fall apart and just can't pull themselves together. Although I did find it a little bit impressive that it ended up being that no collar is always either winning a challenge first place or is always third place. That was pretty funny, yeah. Then, as for the immunity, I gotta admit, it was pretty close, and any tribe could have won or lost that. It just so happened that it was blue collar, although they gave one heck of an effort, but given all the time that they got, it did seem more likely that they'd lose. And then we've got the infamous Rodney vs. Lindsay debate about women trying to hold themselves to a higher standard. I'm not really going to go there for a few reasons. One, I've never had a girlfriend, and I don't want a girlfriend right now. I want to get my life in check before that happens, but honestly, just we should be past the bits about, how women need to view themselves like better than men or differently from men. Just screw it, okay? Everyone has their own individual personality. Everyone has their own purpose or niche in life. Just do your thing, okay? Don't try and equivalent to gender roles, okay? We should be past this, even though we're not. Ugh. Yeah. And I also find it strange that suddenly Dan is all buddy-buddy with Rodney, when in the previous episode, Dan was insulting Rodney's mother. Now, to be fair, Lindsay kind of did, but... yeah. So, going into Tribal, I did think it was more likely that Lindsay would go, although I didn't totally think that that was the right decision. Why? Don't know, honestly. And it was fairly obvious that Lindsay was going to go once Sierra got those 2 votes, but whoever voted for Sierra, I've never looked up who because I don't really want to, but just, you should not have done that. You should have just voted for Lindsay and just had done with it. I mean, like, I think you could tell based on everyone's behavior that no one had the idol. Yeah. So Lindsay left, and that was a bit of a bummer because she was one of the more outspoken members of her tribe, like Vince on No Color, but it's what happens, people. Then everyone gets the tribal switch, like, we all predicted would happen in the 5th episode, but we have, a couple of firsts to point out here. First one is that, for once, they actually didn't dissolve the smallest member tribe in this swap, because No Collar was actually, the smallest member tribe. First, number 2 is that, for once in the Free Tribe season, every single tribe actually went to Tribal Council. Hang on. In All-Stars, all 3 tribes simply lost a member, but Jenna quit the game. Okay? Mogo Mogo lost a member, they just never went to Tribal. Okay? And also, White Collar definitively broke the curse of Saboga, because not only did they not lose the first 2 immunities, they also were not the lowest member tribe in this swap, so the curse is officially broken. We don't even have to worry about having a member of that tribe being the last person voted out or 4th place, whichever one you want to call it, because it always ends up being either 4th or last person voted out, yeah. Okay. And then once again, we have a tribe of the athletes versus the misfits, and as predicted, the athletes dominated, although I'll have to admit I did like those challenges. And if anyone complains that the show started to reuse challenges again, I think we can let this go, okay? Because the challenges that they're using here are actually pretty good challenges. You know, the blindfold challenges, the shoot the balls to people, the drag the items through an obstacle course and use the wrecking ball. Those are actually pretty good challenges. It isn't, and they're also coming up with fairly large amounts of new challenges now. This isn't like Nicaragua, Redemption Island, and or South Pacific, where half the challenges that they used were from previous seasons and most of the others were just barely different from others. Come on, huh? So no one should complain about that. As for more of my thoughts on these new tribes, well, given the division on the blue tribe, Escamecca, I think you pronounce it, yeah, Sierra does seem to be the swing vote, and it does make sense as to why she would want to go with the new people, because the other tribe had basically pushed her away, even though Mike genuinely is trying to make things up to her. And I do believe him, but Dan, nah, I don't believe that apology. He's just like, yeah, you were with us, be with us, but you're still gonna be number 4. Or 5, whatever, just, yeah, I don't believe that at all. But my honest reaction is, if the blue tribe goes to tribal, which I honestly don't think they're going to do, although it could happen, I don't think really Sierra is going to be in a good spot either way. Like with Penner, Cochran, Kaz, she's just not gonna be in a good spot no matter what she does in this situation. What she needs to hope for is that she gets to the merge without going to tribal council, and that a total new deck is laid out. That's what she needs to hope for. Right. And then as for how do I think that the non-blue collar people are blending into the tribe, well, we didn't get any real confessionals from them, and all of the secret scenes just all basic, yeah, I'm enjoying my new position here, so just, what? Huh? As for the Red Tribe Nagarote, well, the episode pretty much displayed everything that needs to be said, although I have to admit, I'm honestly a little bit surprised that Carolyn didn't try and spin the no-collar people to vote out Kelly. You know, get rid of the swing vote and make it easier for you? I guess they figured that Kelly would be just as willing to flip over to them, and she basically was, although I think she was originally going to go to white collar, albeit they edited it to make it seem one-sided, yeah. And then the way Max and Shirin were behaving, yeah, that was pretty obnoxious. It has less to do with the fact that those super fans, it's just the other stuff that they did. It's just like, I understand that some people want to go out there to have fun, okay, but you gotta make it seem casual, you know, and remember that there's an actual game going on here. I mean, like, this isn't like Palau, where the location offers so many benefits that you can almost forget that you're playing a game, especially if you were Karor, because they won 7 straight immunities. You know? Sheesh. Right. So, Max going, I was a bit bummed by that because he is a big fan of the game and such, but he does have a little bit more likelihood to be a huge brain in the situation, because I believe he was the one that pulled in Shirin and possibly Tyler to help vote out So in the first episode, so yeah, it does kind of make sense, and nobody really wants to align with Shirin, really. But hey, he was out there for 14 days, that's enough time to feel like you got a good experience, even though there is still a lot more of game to be played, so yeah, he definitely got his dream done, although obviously it would have been a little bit nicer in his mind if he made the jury, because I feel like if you make the jury, you can't really complain anymore, other than just simply wishing your day total was higher. Yeah. But at the same time, I honestly think getting booted in the early jury is a little bit of a bummer, because then you have to sit on your butt for so long. Or maybe I'm thinking of Big Brother. Yeah, I'm thinking of Big Brother, actually, because they have to be in the jury house for like a month and a half if they're the early person, whereas in Survivor it's 2.5 weeks, tops. So, as for our next episode, well, all they're talking about is Rodney possibly going with Joaquin, and honestly, I'm just not buying it. I mean, like, just all of a sudden, he's going over to Joaquin and just being all buddy-buddy. Just, it's too simple, too easy. I'm not buying that at all. Now, Jeff's line is a lot more interesting, because there's a few people he could be talking to. Now, the obvious candidates are Sierra deciding which way she wants to go, Shirin because she's on the outs, but you could argue that it could be Kelly who's in that situation, you know, because now all of a sudden people might not be treating her good. The same could be argued for Carolyn. And I honestly wouldn't be too surprised if one of the guys on Escamecca ends up being in there. Although, I don't think it's going to be happening to Mike or Dan. It could happen to Tyler, though. We haven't gotten confessionals from him in a while, so Well, this vid went on a little longer than I wanted to, but I think it was pretty objective. Oh, and as for what I mean by the new perspective, I just feel like now we have a better read on a lot of people, but I still kind of wish we had more from some of the people here, because, like, Tyler, we've got and Joaquin, we've gone a little while without confessionals from them, and I don't feel like we had the best idea of what Kelly and Sierra's purposes in this game, but we're getting there.